You keep reading books, watching self-improvement videos, and setting goals, yet somehow nothing changes. Days turn into weeks, and you still feel stuck in the same place. The truth is painful but simple. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're stuck because you're improving in theory, not in action. This is the harsh truth about why you're not improving yet. Every time you promise yourself to change, it feels real for a moment. You get that spark of motivation. Maybe after watching an inspiring video or hearing someone else's success story. You write plans, make lists, maybe even start strong for a few days. But then, slowly, life creeps back in. Distractions return, old habits take over, and soon, you're right where you started. That's the trap most people fall into. We mistake planning for progress. We think that writing down goals is the same as doing the work, but it's not. Planning feels good because it gives your brain a reward, a small dopamine hit that tricks you into feeling productive. The problem is, that reward comes without real effort. It's like talking about going to the gym and feeling proud before you've even lifted a single weight. The real reason you're not improving is because you're spending more time preparing to act than actually acting. Improvement only happens in motion, not in thought. You can't think your way into discipline. You can't read your way into results. You have to build proof through consistent action, even when you don't feel ready. Let's be honest, most of us wait for the perfect moment. We tell ourselves, I'll start when I have more time or once I feel motivated again. But that moment never really comes. The truth is, motivation doesn't start action. Action creates motivation. You move first and the energy follows. And yes, starting small feels slow. It's boring compared to big dreams. But small actions compound. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't see results immediately, but with time and care, growth becomes impossible to ignore. That's how real change works. Quietly, slowly, but consistently. Here's another harsh truth. You might be improving the wrong things. Many people spend hours perfecting things that don't actually matter. They focus on what's easy to measure, not what truly moves them forward. For example, someone might spend weeks organizing their workspace, setting up fancy productivity apps, or rewriting their to-do list, yet still avoid doing the one uncomfortable task that would actually create progress. Improvement requires honesty. You have to face what's holding you back, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's fear of failure, maybe it's overthinking. Maybe you've built an identity around being a work in progress, because that's safer than risking real failure. Whatever it is, you can't fix what you refuse to face. So here's the mindset shift. Stop chasing perfection and start chasing momentum. It's better to make a small move today than a big plan you'll never follow. You don't need a perfect morning routine or a new notebook. You need courage to do something imperfect right now. That's where improvement begins, not in the future, but in the messy, uncertain action you take today. The gap between who you are and who you want to be isn't knowledge, it's action. You already know enough, you just haven't applied it long enough to see the result. Real growth doesn't happen when you learn something new. It happens when you finally do something differently. Think about it. Every successful person you admire didn't get there because they had more information than you. They got there because they acted on what they already knew. The truth is, you don't need another motivational quote, another planner, or another tutorial. You need consistency. And consistency is built in boring, ordinary moments. The times you show up when no one's watching, when it's not exciting, when progress feels invisible. That's where transformation quietly takes root. But the problem is, most people quit before results appear. We expect instant change, and when it doesn't happen, we assume something's wrong with us. But growth doesn't work like that. It's like sharpening a blade. Each stroke feels small, but together they build strength and precision. The real magic happens after the 1,000th repetition, not the first. You can't skip the grind and expect mastery. And here's something most people never realize. Self-improvement can become another form of procrastination. You can get addicted to learning about improvement instead of doing the hard, quiet work of applying it. Watching productivity videos, reading mindset books, and listening to motivational podcasts can make you feel like you're growing. But unless you translate that energy into real habits, it's just entertainment disguised as progress. To improve, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to do things that don't give you instant pleasure. That might mean waking up early even when you're tired, practicing a skill long after you feel bored, or saying no to distractions that give temporary relief. Improvement isn't always glamorous. It's slow, it's repetitive, and it's often lonely. But those are the moments that separate dreamers from doers. Let's take an example. Imagine two people decide to learn guitar. One spends weeks watching tutorials, researching the best instruments, and reading about music theory. The other just picks up a cheap guitar and practices for 20 minutes every day. After a month, who do you think plays better? Obviously the one who practiced. Because knowledge without action is noise. Progress doesn't reward the smartest person, it rewards the most consistent. The same applies to everything: fitness, business, relationships, even personal growth. You don't need perfect conditions. You need consistent effort. Every small choice you make adds up. Every rep, every page, every minute compounds over time. The world doesn't reward what you plan to do. It rewards what you actually do. Here's the good news. Once you break through the first few weeks of discomfort, something shifts. You start to trust yourself again. You stop needing motivation because your actions become proof. You begin to see results, not just in your work, but in how you think and feel. That's when the process becomes addictive in a healthy way. You start chasing progress instead of perfection. And when that happens, you'll realize improvement was never about big dramatic change. It was always about small, consistent effort repeated over time. You don't need to rebuild your life overnight. You just need to show up today, do the work, and let time multiply the effort. That's how real growth happens. Quietly, steadily, and one honest action at a time. When you finally stop chasing quick results, something amazing happens. You start improving for real. Real growth doesn't happen when everything feels easy. It happens when you show up during the hard days, the boring days, the ones when progress feels invisible. Because those moments, the quiet ones, are where discipline is born. You'll begin to notice small wins at first. Maybe you stick to your schedule for a full week. Maybe you finally finish a project you kept delaying. It won't look dramatic, but you'll feel the shift. A growing sense of control, confidence, and peace. That's the sign you're no longer relying on motivation. You're building identity-based discipline. You're no longer someone who tries to improve. You're someone who does. But let's be real, there will still be bad days. You'll slip, procrastinate, or fall back into old habits. And that's okay. Progress isn't a straight line. The key is to never let one bad day become a bad week. The people who truly improve aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who recover faster every time they do. Each comeback strengthens the muscle of consistency. And that's where the real transformation begins. Because improvement isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. You don't need to do everything right, you just need to do something right, again and again. Every time you take one small action despite resistance, you're building momentum. And momentum is unstoppable once it starts moving. So stop overthinking, stop waiting for the perfect time, and start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Improvement isn't loud or glamorous. It's quiet, honest, and built one decision at a time. The truth is, you're not stuck. You're just one consistent habit away from progress. If this video helps shift your perspective, hit the like button right now. It helps more people find these lessons. Subscribe to the channel for more calm, real, and practical self-improvement videos every week. And share this with someone who needs a reminder that progress is still possible, even when it feels slow. Because the harsh truth about improvement is this: it doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you decide to start anyway. So take one step today. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be real. Your future self will thank you for it.